All right, it's Ray from ProShaper Workshop, and you're looking at a wood station buck. It's got about an 8.5 inch spacing on the stations. It's Baltic birch, half-inch thick Baltic birch, which is the best material you could use if you're going to make a station buck. And the beauty of a station buck is it comes from a file. You have to assume that the file is accurate information. And the file might have come from a scan of a real car. It might have came from just analysis of pictures that someone with CAD knowledge has developed into the shape. It might be off a 1/2 inch. It might be an inch off. Who knows? You never know. Even the original cars would be off left or right. They were made in haste. So this car is going to be symmetrical because the file is all symmetrical. But one of my main criticisms of wood station bucks is they do not provide the information you need in order to get all the details. So you can make the skins and then draw on the skins where the various little features are, like this one has the license plate opening, and then there's a couple vents to either side of the license plate opening, and then there's the taillights further out. And all those details, yes, you can do them from the skins, but it's so much easier if you have them well defined. So when the panels are made, they can be trimmed, and then they're going to need flanges in board on like those taillight openings, the round openings, and also on the plate and the vents. And you can cut out the inside and use a torch, heat the aluminum up, and then just hammer form right around that wire. And the wire doesn't care if you heat it up or whatever. If it was wood, it's going to start burning. So typically when these cars were made new, they were either made with a wire form, or some coach builders use the complete full surface hardwood, both on the front and the back, where all the detail. That's the hardest part of shaping any car because there's so much detail there. And they would hammer form, and you can't really clamp with a full surface, but you can hammer form. A lot of times they would have a full surface buck, hardwood buck, and also they would have maybe a wire form next to it that they would weld together on the wire form. Now this is a combo. I've enhanced the wood station buck, and the wood station buck is totally different than a hardwood full surface buck. You know, people say it's got a wood buck, but you really have to define what does wood buck mean. And I've been a heavy critic of these wood station bucks for years and years and years. I actually made my first one in 1985, and it was for a Packard fender, and I swore after I got that thing done that I would never ever make a wood station buck again. So I didn't make this one. This one just came to the shop, and we're going to do a lot of panel work on it. And now we've got this whole back defined really well, and it makes it really easy. Sort of. So the other problem is, with a wire form, you have full access to the back side. You just got to crane your neck around, and you can see how the panels are fitting. And typically what I do is I hold them on with little hand squeeze clamps, which I put rubber on the jaws, and it really holds the panels really nice. You really need to clamp the panel to find out how it's fitting. So with the wood station buck, it's absolutely almost impossible to do that, and it's pretty nebulous as far as how you're fitting. So I knew the technology of Borescopes has come up quite a bit, so I went on Amazon. I found a nice little Borescope for $45. And then we drilled all these little 1/2 inch holes now, and the lead going in is about 1/4 inch off the Borescope. We'll be able to put that Borescope in there, and it has a LED light, or it has a like a LED light on the end of it, got a fiber optic light on the end of it, and we'll be able to see how it's sitting on the wires and the wood here. So it's going to make the job a lot easier. So tomorrow we've got some of the panels roughed in, and the first panel that was roughed in by one of my students, and because we couldn't see and we only had a few wires to begin with, it got overdeveloped, and that's a typical situation. When you're building a panel, It doesn't matter what tools you're using, you've got to make sure that you don't go too much. But in a situation of making a panel, you're either underdeveloped, perfectly developed, or overdeveloped. And in some part of the panel might be overdeveloped, some part of the panel might be underdeveloped, and some part of the panel might be perfectly developed. So there's quite a skill set to get it all to the Goldilocks point, where it's not too underdeveloped or too overdeveloped, just right. So it's an interesting process, and we'll be doing a bunch of little videos of this, and maybe a couple tomorrow. We're going to laser weld these panels together. We got one that's pretty close. It was overdeveloped, and I had to heat shrink it down. And that's the beautiful thing about doing sheet metal shaping, is it almost doesn't matter how bad you make a mistake. It's repairable. But if you get it out of control, it's usually you're not really paying attention. And I had my student on it, and in a matter of minutes you can go from, oh boy, this is looking really good, to uh-oh. So we had to shrink it down probably about a ½ an inch, which is pretty easy to do. It's just time consuming, and it doesn't hurt the panel at all. And tomorrow we'll maybe get a couple of the panels fit, and hopefully we'll start welding them together, and then we put these details in. It's going to be a pretty cool project. Thanks for watching. It's Ray from ProShaper Workshop.